Clinic More Phoenix Wright Eternity Dual Destinies. Last time we left off, we did the first part of the trial for Chapter 5 and figured out the Phantom was the true killer of the 7-year-ago case and probably the killer in the new one too. So, we must now figure out who this Phantom really is. This is also going to be the finale, probably. Unless this episode is like 2.5 hours long. In which case, I'll probably just shorten it, actually. So, never mind. This is going to be the finale, unless it is literally 3 hours long. In which case, I'll split it. Oh, right! Apollo came in at the last second and was like, "No, you're not done with this case yet. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself!" It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Tarrant. But Apollo, why would you... Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Is he trying to draw out the Phantom, maybe? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. What? But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me, too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo. Sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial. Oh, very well. Is that alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? Huh. The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish, let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Tarrant. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in the boarding lounge 1. When the two men made their escape into the Space Museum, the killer attacked Mr. Tarrant with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Yuri Cosmo switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, the trial must make clear who Mr. Tarrant's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped from the Space Museum that day. Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready? Yes, Your Honor. I'd better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record. So do I have more? Wow, got a lot more stuff from the new case. Cool. Or the old case, I guess. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please. What happened to you, Apollo? Why are you so mean now? We're gonna find the truth first, you piece of garbage. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Tarrant. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could utilize the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Justice, you realize you were charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you? Yes, Your Honor, because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? I don't see any immediate points, so I guess I'll just... I'll ask a bunch of questions. Hold it! What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Tarrant, my bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen that knife before. My bracelet told me otherwise. And then every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. Oh. So I decided to wear an eye patch, so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. Oh, that's why. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to that knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Tarrant. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer too. Ugh. I guess he has a point. My bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. Hold it! That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. If that's so, then go ahead and prove it. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes has absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Tarrant. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? I hope he's just trying to draw out the Phantom. That's really what I want, because if he's being this, like, untrusting, he's gone too far, dude. Like, I don't know if he'll ever be back to the way he was. Like, man. This game has done Apollo better than Apollo ever did. Isn't it possible that someone else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there was a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Tarrant and Mr. Starbuck. But there's also another security camera by boarding lounge 2. The recording of Mr. Tarrant's killer, or rather, Miss Sykes coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2. First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Oh, first I've heard of it. Okay. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was not until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out to boarding lounge 2. That must have been when the camera captured her, and that's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why? Order on the court. It can't be, but if it is, then it is incredibly incriminating. Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? Huh. Fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright. I hate you, Edward. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own co-worker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. Clay was my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. And I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my arguments?
Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable.
Well, Mr. Wright, What do you think of my theory? It looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant. Unless you think there was an alternative escape route. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? I don't really know. Maybe? I think I have an idea, but maybe not. Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Me? Bluff? No way. He knows me too well. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. I don't know who said that. As long as you can clear up this doubt inside me. Oh, that was him speaking. Okay. Wait. So is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? Huh. It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant. But we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely. And when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are all about. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. So I decided I need to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's so like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good. Because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Dr. Cosmos is at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright. Where do you think the culprit escaped to? Oh, god dang it. They really could have only escaped at the corridor to the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbuck's prints to get through the door. It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been into Boarding Lounge 2. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. I knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? The culprit escaped in the corridor that leads to the Space Museum. And I guess it's true. The only exit would have been into Boarding Lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the Boarding Lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. But the only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no other conclusion but to draw that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But, hold on a second. What if... Wait. Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? Leaves. I think it is possible that the culprit escaped in the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into Boarding Lounge 2. Oh? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Oh, they got out somehow? Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Huh. Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides boarding lounge 2? We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yes, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Do you mean... Yep, well the Space Museum was in motion just beyond the corridor's safety door. Was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... the area outside the Space Center! You're freaking insane! Do you know how impossible that would be? The corridor is level with the 3rd floor! Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, they would fall to their death! Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building. Ew, the ladder. Of course. Skadoosh! An emergency ladder. There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to the ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. Oh my god! The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched! And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Holy crap, dude! And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? What is going on? Holy crap, dude! Order in the court! Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right? Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes, it puts Swiss cheese to shame. Alright then, name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center, according to this. The distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is... a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place. An unstable ladder. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. Oh, there it is! It's a basic survival instinct, except... oh, it's the Phantom! We just proved it, boys! It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping, or even freeze in fear and not jump at all. But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind. Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to the boarding lounge too. Keep putting "the" in these sentences when there's none. Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. The culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way. In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point. But you claim that despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap, and all in the brief moment the corridor and the ladder passed by each other? That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If their timing is off, or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear, like a stuntman. Come on! But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Oh my god, wait a minute. Wait a minute! Wait a doodle second! Aha! I've got it this time. I can prove that there is someone who could have used this alternate escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternative escape route. Eat this! What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear. Come on, wait for it. Right! You can't be serious! Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap, 50 feet up in the air. He could choose this extreme way of escape without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance to get spotted. That's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright.
But was there such a person there at the scene?
Yes. The Phantom. That mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up.
Oh dear.
The Phantom. Again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes at the Space Center bombing, but I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran. What? What? Yo, what is this game?
Order in the court! Order, I say! Mr. Wright, please continue.
There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then, this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right? This escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start. As was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I learned my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder. But he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So you mean, Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used. That's right. Wait. Oh no! No! No, please don't be who I think we're saying it is. Oh no!
Who could it be?
No. Wait a minute. So I learned my emergency ladder like that. No! The evacuation told me to. No, 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 please. This Blackwell lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... No! No! Oh, no! You gotta be kidding me. Did you figure it out, right? Do you know who the Phantom is? Why? Why? No! No! Why do you do this to me, game? Why? Why? No, I'm so mad right now. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. No, I predicted this, but I also didn't want it to be true. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. Oh, no, I'm so mad. As the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. No! Why? Why, Fulbright? Why? His objective was to secure his own escape route. No. No. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. No! I'm so mad! This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion. No! 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 Stop! Stop! No, it's not him, please! What? Are you saying... You mean the Phantom is... Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. No, I know I predicted this, but at the same time I was really hoping it wasn't true. I was so hoping. I was begging. I'm like, no, there's no way, right? And this game is so mean. Order in the court, Mr. Wright. How could this be? That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. I'm dying because of this game. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via the ladder. Verily, it was all a part of his plan to create an escape route. No! After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Tarrant and escaped in the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so we waited for the right time, got a running start. See, you might be wondering, like, you're probably like, Zach, you literally predicted this. Like, why are you getting upset? And, like, I get you, but I had mentally convinced myself, I'm like, no. He's just another wacky character. They're not gonna pull a switch because detectives are always like, the cool people, And so it was nice to have the flipping dynamic of like a kind of dumb detective, but like not dumb because like Gumshoe's dumber, but like I thought, okay, this is his character. He's dumb. Like that's all he needs to be. And there was just a part of me that was like, oh, okay, guess he's not important to this overarching story. Like maybe he was the lead detective on the UR1 incident, but nothing else. And then I convinced myself that he wasn't the Phantom. And then when this was coming up, the only thing that kept going to my mind was, who was the one leading the scene? Who was the one who never told us why he was leading the scene? And it was like, no, Fulbright, why? But that's what I'm really confused about. Why? The museum started moving slowly, so we waited for the right time, got a running start. And just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. I don't believe it. That adolescent detective did all that. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright. The heroic detective defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whatever you're in need. My catchphrase? It's in justice we trust.
Then, his concern for Simon was also all just one big act?
I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart.
That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled.
Come to think of it, he's the one who brought that bloodstained lighter to the court too. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it! How the hell did I fall for that? For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Ugh. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright.
Oh, yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand.
Oh, dude. I'm in pain. Like, why? Why, dude? Oh. Every part of my body was begging that Fulbright wouldn't be the killer. I was begging. I love him. He's so good. And they made him evil. Why? Why do these games hate me?
Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, I...
Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight.
You got it, boss.
Apollo, please apologize.
Apollo.
Well, this is awkward.
Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you... punch me, please? What? Why should I do that?
Because I should have believed in you.
I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust... Ouch! Don't be such a dope! I was really touched by what you did.
Huh? Now what are you talking about?
I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how could I punch a true friend like you, Apollo?
You didn't have any trouble slapping it a second ago.
Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again.
Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Yeah, I thought so. Why do you have your glasses on? Edgeworth? Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. And they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Laura Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Trucy and all the others. Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Hi, Miss Blackwell. We were just talking about you.
I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions weren't allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura.
She better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault.
Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I can let you handle the rest of this case for me. Oh, Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again? No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the one who took Midas's killer down.
Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least. Aura.
Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful.
Huh. I never imagined you would go that far. Though, you always were extreme. but I don't recall ever requesting your help.
As close as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty.
Huh. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of different expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, looks like I won't be crossing the Styx just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish.
Simon.
Aww.
I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that.
Aura.
Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, please take me to the detention center.
What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother.
I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom.
I can't believe he killed Clay. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand.
That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man in my position to stand in court.
Sir.
The formal paperwork is yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand. Wait, so am I not going to fight Edgeworth at all? That makes me sad.
And much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you? Oh god, my hands! Oh! Oh, my wrists! Oh my god, I've been wearing these for a long time, huh? Ow! How long have I waited? At least the sense of freedom. But even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is.
I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we still got a trial to finish.
It's okay to cry, Athena. I promise.
Prosecutor Blackwell. Mr. Wright, please avenge Clay's death for me.
What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me.
I am?
Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. That leaves you, Apollo.
But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything.
Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Apollo. Athena, I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence. And now, we're gonna prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
I'm fine. Oh, off goes the jacket. Oh, holy crap. Was it really that much? Oh. And it's off. Aw, yeah! Apollo Justice back in action.
Oh, look at him!
Now this is the Apollo I know.
Welcome back, Apollo. It's almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand.
Yep.
I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things, namely...
The first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory, right? Now if you'll excuse me. Okay, you two all set to go?
You bet I am.
Let's do this.
To be continued. God dang it! No, I'm joking. This is it. The final battle. It's time to end the dark age of the law. The murder of Apollo's friend. The courtroom bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. And mine. No, that was me. Oh. Well, he didn't do that one, but he did everything else. Destinies called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Isn't that ironic? In justice we trust. I'm just kidding. Whoever needed justice in the first place. No, why is he evil? I'm still mad about that. I can't get over that. Like, they must have made this character and they're like, we're gonna make him evil and everybody's gonna love him and then he's gonna be evil and they'll be like, no! What the heck? Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready.
You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted.
Now that you mention it. Although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot.
Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well.
You still got that ego of his, though. Really? I think he's a pretty modest guy, to be honest. Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Oh, yes, I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. But, bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately.
Even with those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same.
7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright here. I heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Yep, because there's only one reason why I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice. In justice we trust. You can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey.
He's acting exactly the same as always.
Tell me about it. It makes me feel like awfully confident. Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, then let's get to your testimony. Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. Oh, I can't wait. I want to see his break where he's just like, screw justice! It isn't worth this. I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena Sykes is a culprit. The lighter with the prints on it. Oh. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false. And the defendant is the real culprit? That's right. Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof of your claim either. I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice, it just is. Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Oh, please don't throw the book at me. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? But my justice is crystal clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice. Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's question and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell,
Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn.
Well, Fulbright was his partner, after all.
Prosecutor Blackwell is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections?
That's fine, Your Honor. Ha ha ha! Now, ask away and don't hold back.
Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
Fulbright, why? Why? Why?
Hold it!
Oh. Crap. So, okay, I think I know what we're gonna say. He's gonna say both hands were on there, right? And then we'll be like, that's wrong! So how many prints were found exactly? Ow. 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle. And the middle finger of a right hand. Ah, there we go. Your Honor, that is an important statement. Can we please have it swapped into my testimony? You got it.
You beat me to it.
Being investigating or testifying, speed is the key. Need for speed. So you say need for speed, Detective Fulbright. And you know, I normally agree with you. Ah, see, you get it. I'm not done. I only agree with it if it's not a lie! You say the prints were from a right hand, is that correct? That's right, very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. Huh? What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackwell, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh. So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints of the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? Ah!
You're right. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Your Honor, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water.
Dr. Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this.
I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-hand prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it!
What do you got, Detective?
The mirror! The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror.
Go on.
Miss Blackwell was looking in through the window of the boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room.
That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall
is a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. So are you saying...
Yes, the culprit Miss Blackwell saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror.
Oh, I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they?
Ha 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 ha! Now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice.
But your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was a reflection. Right, don't know. You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh?
Ha 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 ha! That's right! Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand.
And why not?
Miss Blackwell said she saw an Earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem is only on one side of the lighter.
You're right. There's no emblem on the other side.
Exactly. As blank and smooth as the judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem.
Uh-oh.
What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. So if the culprit had held in their left hand with the emblem out invisible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held in their right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in the right hand.
No! Come back, my beautiful contradiction!
Huh. It appears you planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower of justice? He's tough. He's managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust. Now do you see? I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet it's just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad, so very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Oh, Apollo.
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said
Oh, he shouldn't know about there being a spy.
that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that?
Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an Earth emblem on both sides of the lighter?
Oh.
I knew it. You're lying, Detective.
Pardon me?
You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to his statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out.
Justice don't know. Are you to use that cheat of yours again?
It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell.
Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on then. Taka won't attack you, I promise.
We have Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up.
Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time?
What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand.
Skadoosh! Oh, there it is. Go back, go back, go back. Okay, let's listen to that again, and we see the truth. Skadoosh. Boom. Got you.
Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster.
Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion what you're talking about.
Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it.
Why? You're not making any sense. You can't just... Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you?
What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell.
I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackwell insists, it must be something important. I'll allow the defense to examine the lighter.
Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new.
I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this thing. This is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about.
See anything noteworthy?
Huh? Hey, look at this. This emblem's actually some kind of button. What? What? What?
Wow, it transformed into something.
A handle. A trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun.
Oh, what?
What? What is this game? A gun. So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial, when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a .10 caliber. This little combat gun probably takes bullets of that caliber.
It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene.
I'm flabbergasted. The lighter was a gun?
So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster,
That's right. Whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning.
You know nothing, boy.
A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself.
There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the ladder could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum, and then I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun.
Accuse me all you want, but where is your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the ladder was a gun?
Not exactly.
And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. It proves that she is the culprit to find the gun at the scene. It would appear the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although, it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun had directed Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Miss Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Taran, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof.
No!
Now do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair.
The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm.
But
Calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
my hair is amazing, says the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove that this lighter is not Miss Sykes', but yours.
Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo.
It's just, the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena. I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself.
You mean, you think this lighter might be forged evidence?
That's right. It can all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did you do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own?
I can definitely think of a few things. Yeah, being so. It is indeed! Have a look at this!
What's this? A lighter?
Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data that were related to this case. Oh! That's when he put the prints on. Oh. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, that's not when he put the, sorry. There's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? Okay, the owner of the prints, I guess. Are they really Athena's fingerprints? They definitely match their print data. But what about the data itself? Oh, he's been faking it the whole time? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yes? What about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data. But I have to wonder, was the data you used official?
Mr. Wright, are you suggesting the evidence might be fabricated?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official, sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics. Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun.
Very well then. Bailiff.
It's gonna be his, aren't they? Or they're gonna be glove marks, probably, actually, or something.
Ah, it appears that the official data is here.
And the results?
It's just as the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant.
Ah!
Yes!
The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Tarrant.
Oh. Not what I was expecting.
They were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter.
Ah, I see. Come to think of it.
Wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. Yeah, that's another part of, like, that's when I started suspecting him and when I became very sad. When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood, after which you wiped the blood off of his hand. Ah! By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data, all to put the blame on Miss Sykes. Ah! This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who was behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit.
So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom?
Remember the killer's escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Ah! Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Ah! Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me. Or so help me, I will slice you to tiny slivers where you stand. Ah! Alright, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom. It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. No.
An undercover investigator? That sounds less than wholesome to me.
A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Fulbright. That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom. But sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. Garbage!
What?
You're telling us this now? But if what you say is true, then who was the mysterious person Miss Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you! All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him. I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter? That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Being the crime on Athena Sykes is just another one of the Phantom's orders. And you expect us to buy that? Wright, what was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order. Oh. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back the psych profile you have on him. So, he sent a buzzard of his own to tail me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Is it really not him? No, Fulbright, just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. There's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper's shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? But on the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright. We can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right. After we come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wiggle free now. There! I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom. Oh! You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right? I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom. Evidence is everything, right, Donna? And you must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom.
Ugh. Yes, as I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence.
But... I've known Fulbright here for a year now. In all this time, he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. Prosecutor Blackwell. This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me, he actually became quite a nuisance, really.
Ha! Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me!
Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, thank you! Such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence.
Ha ha ha! Very good, I'm glad to hear it. It's all over, everything's been cleared up, and Miss Sykes will go free as well.
Mr. Wright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... what do I do?
I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? Is he gonna get away just like that?
Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that, I'm off.
Edgeworth. Hold it!
Edgeworth.
Oh, hold it! Never mind. The defense? No, wait. Not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet, and would like to see this trial continue.
What? But I was just about to declare you innocent of all charges.
It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo, think you could scooch over?
Really? Athena, what are you doing? Hope we don't get held in contempt of court.
I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you?
Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions?
Oh, come on, really? I've yet to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss. The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all.
What does that mean?
We may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie.
That's it! With your special ability, we just might be able to stop him.
Your Honor, the defense has been deeply traumatized by the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations.
Yes, well, even before all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow.
If he doesn't get counseling right away, who knows what might happen to him?
Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting? Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counseling.
Not you too.
You've been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator, and your family has been taken hostage. I fear you might have finally lost it.
But I thought you believed me.
Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here?
That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon.
I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here?
Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright, because he knew I'd noticed if there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in his responses, so he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart.
What? You two were working together just now? Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart.
You got it. Time to check the instant replay. Widget, mon ami, let's do this. Widget, mon ami?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said that weirdly. Oh, you ready for this? Boom! Nothing. Oh! Even with all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all?
It's just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom Psych profile. Detective Fulbright, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on?
Wait, hold it! What do you think you're doing, Detective?
Me? I'm not doing anything.
He's trying to hack into the Moon Matrix program. I can't do anything with it like this. Ah!
Fancy device you have there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you.
Sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking.
More like as a spy.
Thanks, Prosecutor Blackwell. There, now that you can't hack me anymore, I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us.
Lack of emotions? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you wounded me very deeply with that accusation.
What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting an overwhelming happy reading.
Huh? But he's literally crying us a river over there.
Oops, my mistake. How about this?
Ah! Yikes, now he's angry all of a sudden.
What's he trying to pull? Like as not, it would appear our friend is not completely without emotion. It's just as it says in Dr. Psych's profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation.
Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right?
Precisely, which leads me to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's most likely because he is controlling his emotions.
Very good, Prosecutor Blackwell. You're correct. It's a result of my daily training. A very important skill for us undercover investigators, you know?
More like for us spies. Seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute. I think I know. I sense there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, Detective.
A feeling I'm trying to hide? That's a good one. You're the ones who've been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I was just trying to show you the range of deep emotions I truly possess.
Then you have no objections to me analyzing you, right?
No. Analyze away. But I will state it again. I am not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect. Because you're about to see what an undercover agent can really do.
There it is. His sad is just keeping on going. I found it! I found the one emotion you're truly feeling.
What?
Hidden in the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. When you talked about the moon rock, you felt a fear that wouldn't fade.
Fear, huh?
A fear that a man with hardly any emotions feels, huh?
And it was a response to that moon rock.
Detective Fulbright, I presume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because... Of course. That's it. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity.
I don't know. He is very careful to hide it. He has top-secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people lived out as the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom, after all.
Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you'd feel afraid. You were afraid that the moon rock will somehow reveal your identity. Oh! If his identity were revealed, he would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid.
Me? Afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So, there really is something about the moon rock that would reveal his identity.
Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, but more like he had to take it with him, because there was something on it that would reveal his true identity.
Where do you think you're going?
Me? I'm not going anywhere.
Is just me, or was he gonna use that weird watch thing to try to get away? How many more of these toys does he have? We're gonna get myself some. Detective Fulbright, you will answer honestly to this court right now that I'm gonna save my game. What do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock?
In justice we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid. Don't make me laugh.
Ugh! And what was that just now? I don't know, because my iPad froze for a second.
But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing a case from a psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. Ah! It's all just a waste of time. All your efforts and analysis serve no purpose. And now, in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. In an era where evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof, but I still say examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Listen to the voices of the hearts of the people in the gallery. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side, because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. It is not like I use analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Uh-oh, you got Athena doubting herself.
Miss Sykes' analytical psychology has breathed new life into the courtroom. It has freed the hearts of many witnesses and has been key in getting to the truth.
What nonsense! Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock.
I see. Very well, I will give the opinion of this court. In a trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidence is.
But Your Honor... There, you see? Nobody believes you and your trumped-up charges.
However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analysis can contribute to making the truth clear. I have seen her do this firsthand several times already.
Surely you jest. So does this mean you'll accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor?
Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on this matter.
Then that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you will tell this court the reason for your fear. Analytical psychology? My fears? Fine. I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can't be considered evidence.
Witness testimony. My fear of the moon rock.
I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of it because I took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice!
Fulbright, why?
And there you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock?
Sure, you sound convincing enough.
But so does any two-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it. Right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning, and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell, we have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts. Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the Dark Age of the law. And it is also our burden to cut away the foul specter we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. Trust, understanding, fragile ideals of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
No. Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies. Always. Cross-examination. God, Fulbright is an amazing villain. Let me just say that right now. I don't know if he's Simon level, but he's up there. He might be better than Gant.
Hold it!
You can't think of a single reason the Phantom might be afraid of the Rock. I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me, with my wealth of emotions, be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting blown big. I'm willing to bet that the moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? Even the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock. But fingerprints can be wiped off. Then maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drooled on it and left his DNA? We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Oh! Oh, it just hit me! When Athena stabbed him! His blood got on the rock. Huh? Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. That just hit me. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. There we go, boys! Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course, that's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Tarrant. That's right. And the exact same type of knife Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall.
He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again.
And this time you got him, didn't you?
I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand.
Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock, and he was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean if we ran the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is? Ha 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 ha! Yes, I suppose so! But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course! Not. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ugh! What this court needs is a bully-free zone. The evidence is sort of beguiling bluff. Its edges without compare. Come now, ready it with me, and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage, eh? Ah! Go on, Wright, Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen.
Oh, you're right.
But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime?
Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then.
All that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days, all personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle it with it or leave through those checkpoints.
Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center?
In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. And why's that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab, but the moon rock was never found. How could I forget about that? A sad but true fact. We still haven't a grasp on how it was done, but the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. And it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think! Oh, come on, do it. I want to use my mind stuff. How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab?
So, can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry, I meant what?
In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene?
Oh, they put it in the capsule that was sent into space?
That's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Hat-1 rocket.
He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. So there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day.
Yes, and the team must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock had been launched up into space along with the rocket.
Oh, and that's why he bombed the courtroom. Oh. He blew up the evidence. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew. By sending it into space. It was out there in the depths of space. Aboard the Hope space probe.
What?
What?
Oh, order in the court!
I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat-1 anyway. The villain. His primary objective to conveniently kill two birds with one stone. That's right. He planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal its true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission and returned 7 years later, with a capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So he killed Clay just so he could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rock with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Claims to have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung onto that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh, you really do. Boy, he's totally out of whack now.
It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit it all now?
There's nothing to admit! I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you! I am not the Phantom! The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes! A trap!
Now I'm not sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, the trap is not out of the question.
But in that case, you could say anything is a trap.
That's what makes a trap a trap! I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom! Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order!
Further investigation? More like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackquill. Hey, you guys aren't really... Oh! My sleeve is hanging over the thing, that's weird. It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth, my arch nemesis. I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I've uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition system. Oh, I bet you it's... Oh, I think I know who it is. It's Fulbright, Detective Arm, and somebody else? I don't know who. But none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. Oh, what? That's not good. Yeah, seriously. But there's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackquill, you'd best brace yourselves. Uh-oh. Oh, does Fulbright not have a past? He doesn't have a background? The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, doesn't exist. Is already long dead. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then, does this mean... Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. What? An imposter?
Then this man, who in the world is he?
Enough of your trickery. If you do not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you.
Oh! No! What the?
No! No!
His face!
Aw, look what you did to my mask.
Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness?
Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now.
Wait.
What?
Wait. What? Wait. But that's... Hey, Apollo. Yup, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. No, I know what this is gonna be. They're pulling a V3. He's gonna switch into a bunch of characters, isn't he? This guy doesn't have an identity, does he? That's what he's thinking. Yup, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck. That can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you? Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat 1, which is set to be destroyed.
Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want.
Not so fast. I have the Phantom Psych profile right here. If we compile a Psych profile on you and compare the results, it will prove that you're the Phantom.
It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means.
That voice. Those words.
Oh my god. I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes.
Professor Means! Smask?
I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now give me that evidence.
Huh?
time to take out the trash. Permanently. No!
How could you?
Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Judge, he just got rid of evidence. That should be a contempt of court charge right there, but whatever.
How pathetic. Can't even speak without wearing another man's face. Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Or perhaps it really is the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you seek when you look in a mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I'd wager. Well, aren't you just the master of psychology, Blackquill? That's right. I don't know who I am. I am always looking at someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? And now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright. Huh? I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope capsule. I think I will do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your... Fudge! It was a courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence, and was blown to smithereens. It looks like you have finally caught on. Full marks to the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? No, because we have Athena's earring. How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent. And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dono? I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits. No! Is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? See your proof. What evidence will finally prove Phantom's identity? Oh. Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom? And the moon rock along with it? They're saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity. Yes, Your Honor. Focus your... Oh, I didn't even see it. Oh my god. Of course. Please take a look at this newspaper article. The article about the Hot One? Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there is a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes, I see it. It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible! I'm surprised to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock.
let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright.
Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what did the test results show?
There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed? Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed.
They confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they?
There's no use trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom! Oh! Snap, he just... Huh?
Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself?
No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo.
Huh?
Gonna rip off his face and be Phoenix, isn't it?
Yup.
Why?
It was a pretty good objection, too. Don't you think?
Now he's me? So, do you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright?
Huh?
Oh, no. Not really, Your Honor.
No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright.
Could this trial get any more insane?
Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph and those just like it. I can be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab. Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it, but how do you know they're not just rocks?
You can't prove they're the moon rock, right?
Don't be absurd.
Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom.
It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be here.
But you can't deny the possibility.
Your blood was found on one of the fragments.
Follow. There's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock.
And why not?
I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago, I tripped and fell in this very courtroom. And was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from.
Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We can ask an expert to verify if they are from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible.
And why not?
In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are from, you'd need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. And that's where the earring comes into play. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from the moon rock.
Oh! No!
Nah, we're fine, we're fine. What is Phoenix doing? He's like twiddling his fingers. There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
You realize there's a voice clip. We know who it is, right?
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care.
We do?
We do. Even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock is completely lost is this.
Oh!
but just about the only things my mother left with me are widgets and this earring. Maybe she did love me, in her own way.
Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence.
She did?
You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you, because we have a moon rock of our own.
Yeah. You mean?
Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, the fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defense's sample of the moon rock.
That's your sample.
This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time?
It was right here all along?
No. No! It can't be! If the composition of the bomb fragments in the earring are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the origin of the fragment in this photo, and since the test results showed that the blood on the fragments was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now, even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all my emotions behind years ago.
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust.
And I suppose you do.
I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me. Couldn't get over the trauma of my past.
Like I said, I don't feel fear. Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself. How can I run away from myself? When there's nothing inside. Nothing at all. I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand, but people have emotions. It's just a fact of life, and so people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another, so they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? The fear inside of me. Is this... No. Ah! I'm afraid. I'm scared. I feel fear.
You can't outrun yourself.
Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. What's he gonna look like, boys? What's he gonna look like? My own true face. No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? My own true face. I don't have one. My face, my face. Wait, what? Oh. He's like, is this my face? Is it? Is it? No, that's not it. No. No. This isn't me either. Ah! Is this me? Which one is my face?
What am I? Who am I?
No! No. Did you just get shot? Oh! Come on! Come on! A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. Did he just die? But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how's Detective Fulbright? I mean, his imposter doing?
He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying.
Well, that was fortunate for all of us.
The analysis of that final piece of evidence Wright submitted is in. Composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring the trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm stone-faced as well. Court is adjourned.
Oh, my throat is actually killing me. I've been recording for like 2.5 hours right now.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick.
Thank you, Pearls, and thank you for being there for Athena.
It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong through the whole trial. Dad, I'm so glad to see you.
Trucy, are you alright? Are you hurt?
I'm fine, Dad. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up.
That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe.
Right. I fear I owe you yet another debt of gratitude.
Edgeworth.
We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you.
Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as a prosecutor, right?
Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial.
Well, we never would have won the trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to a successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it?
I ship it. So you figured it out, did you?
Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal.
Well, I owed you a few favors.
Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the dark age of the law to an end?
Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away.
You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper.
So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it.
The complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals.
Athena. Okay, so I was like, who? I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas.
Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time.
Aww.
Just barely. But I still made it.
That'll go, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth thanks to you.
Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that.
It was never my intention to just throw my life away, but some things in this world are more important than your own life.
Like what?
My honor-bound duty to protect my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure.
Huh?
That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai, through and through. Well, it looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off.
You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh?
It was definitely the most amazing tournament I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office is the best, most capable lawyers around.
Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Wright Anything Agency. Well, nobody's gonna try harder than me, so you'd better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many more people out there who need our help.
You're right, and I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. We got a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the Law to a close.
Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles.
Huh?
Nothing like a bowl of Eldoon's noodles after a trial, all on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Wright Anything Agency. Right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for the great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. Huh?
I have an idea, Dad. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman?
Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say.
Only if we get to join in. Hey, no fair. I want to say it too.
Okay, here we go. Objection!
Oh! I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now that he's back. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. Think I should have found him a few legal cases? Nah, that's okay. This is the Wright Anything Agency after all.
Oh, Trucy, I love you. I wish you were in this game a bit more.
Tina and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I'd better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says, eat lots of peppers and they'll ignite your passion. Oh, and I should figure out which to grow. Green peppers or yellow peppers? Maybe I should go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. Oh, it's me. The end of the Dark Age of the Law, you say? How naive! Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation. The chief prosecutor wants to see me. Ah!
Oh, gasp in pain, you're funny, but you show up in the next game, so you must not get fired. I've been asked to debut the great master wrestler Tenmataro.
He's scheduled to go up against the Amazing Ninetales next, though.
Oh, what to do? Fight to the finish with myself.
Why don't you ask Mr. Demon Lord to be the Amazing Ninetales, too?
That's not a bad idea. I bet he'd be all for it.
Caw-caw! So we're to meet as follows, are we, my little friend?
No, I'm gonna leave now, bye. Oh, it's me. Would you believe it? I'm all the way to Ninetales Fail now. Pretty impressive, eh? I took over after Rex Cuby for the good of my beloved village. What do you say? Would you like me to make a little donation to help us out? Would you like?
Hey, what do you think you're doing sneaking into the manor?
Ah, the jig's up! Better make a run for it!
I was gonna say, really? This guy? But
I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in law, so now I'm studying for the bar exam. I'm gonna prosecute Athena someday. You'll S-E-E.
huh. I'm studying my buns off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm gonna pass the Themis entrance exam on my own merit this time. With a score of 100 points, of course.
Hugh, Juniper, our dream will live on forever!
Ah, my least favorite characters from this game.
I found really sweet boxes for all three of them, but I won't wear them. Maybe because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge. But anyway, thanks to the trial, the school newspaper features as bright as can be. Now, let's see what the fresh blood have to say in the new school paper. Our editor cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, her cardboard box got soggy.
I like Scuttlebutt. I thought she was kind of funny. But I wasn't a huge fan of the main cast, if I'm being perfectly honest. Ooh, it's me! The one-night-only reunion concert. I still remember that evening of passion. The president of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. When she's a judge in her own court someday, I'd love to have a jam session with her. It'd be the coolest trial ever, ja? I can already hear it now.
I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. With Mystic Maya due to come here once your training is over, it simply must be done.
Maya's coming back. I can't wait for that. No, seriously. This game was missing Maya. That was my biggest complaint. I mean, she sent a letter, but that doesn't count. Ha ha! Humanity's dreams for outer space will never die. In fact, planning for the HAD 3 rocket has already officially begun. Look upon me, people of this great nation, and witness the glory of your cosmos. What do you... Oh, Director. Yes, yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. You should leave everything to me. Assistant Director, Yuri Cosmos. Wait, who's the director? Oh, is Blackwell the director? Wait, no, she's in jail. What am I talking about?
I'm the director. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Minas came to the moon, I would love to show them around. But which is more interesting? Montes Pyranus or Mare Tranquilitas? Do you think they would like either one? Yay, hooray! I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again like you used to.
Oh, game, you're killing my throat. I need you to end this soon. I love this game, but oh my god. Ah, it's me. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! I'm going to the moon for real this time, for me and for Clay. Thanks to my lawyers, I know I should never give up. But I'm worried. I can't breathe in space, and in fact, it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm getting really nervous. Oh, it's me. No, I'm not employed here. I simply came to request their service in defense of my sister. But no one's around. I've been kept waiting for a long time. What sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him. Then perhaps he and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future. Wait, what? Wait, who's the person talking at the end at the end of this game? Is this... Oh, are they setting up for Spirit of Justice, maybe? Look forward to your next month's salary assessment.
Ah, please forgive me.
Blackwell's acquittal has brought all manner of ills in prosecutor's office to light. It would seem solving that case has thawed the chill of winter and the warmth of spring. Now I owe Wright yet another debt of gratitude. But I will repay him one day. You can trust in that. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but now I'm like, eh. Alright, well, I think the credits are basically over now. Like the talking with everybody, so this will just give my thoughts on the game while this goes by. I really enjoyed this game. I think it was a very, very good Ace Attorney game. I think it was, it stumbled a bit, but when it hit its high points, it was a high point, you know? It wasn't like Apollo Justice, where it kind of felt like the entire game was mediocre. This felt like, yeah, there are some bad parts, but there's also some awesome, awesome parts. So I guess let's just start off with the bad, because then the good stuff is even better, right? Well, we're looking at a good part of this game, but so the bad. Case 2 and 3. I did not like them. 2 and 3, they both suffer from the same problem for me. The characters are too much of caricatures. I feel like they're not interesting characters because they're just so one note. Even, you know, the whole Robin Newman thing is like, oh, she's a girl, and then she's just a girl. It's like, oh, wow, that's so interesting. And, like, I don't understand how people can think Hugh is a good character. He's just a snobby brat. Like, how is that a good character to you? No offense to anybody who thinks he is. Just, like, I literally don't understand it. And the other thing is, from Case 2 and 3, this game was pretty predictable. Like, obviously the final case was hard to figure out because the final cases are always hard, and Case 4 is an exception because we never really found the killer and I had no idea. Even though, actually, that's not true. I'm pretty sure I said it was full right, so, I mean, I didn't want to be right, but I honestly thought this game was kind of predictable. Like, the moment Aristotle Means show up, did anybody not think he was the killer? He was so suspicious. Like, look at him. Just, like, were they trying to fake people out? Maybe make people think like, oh, he's so suspicious, he can't be the killer. But, I don't know, this felt so obvious to me. And Case 2, they showed who the killer was, but even if they didn't, I probably would have guessed on the second day of investigation. Once I saw him, I'd be like, oh, probably that guy. So yeah, Case 2 and 3, they really felt like filler cases to me. Because they didn't mean really anything in the end, and 1, 4, and 5 really did mean a lot. On the other hand, the DLC case was absolutely awesome. I loved it so much, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. This game, though, when it hits its high points, it was really, really good, and I really, really thoroughly enjoyed this game. And I'm sure you're interested to see where my ranking of it is, and I'm actually stalling for time right now because I'm trying to make a decision between something and something else. I think I know what I want to choose, but let's see if there's anything at the end here. Yep. All right, here we go, and then I'll let you know my order. Oh, is he going off into space? Gyaksa.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be
T-minus
fine.
15 seconds.
Oh, he's saying the thing. I'm fine. I'm fine.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Hey. Oh, wow.
Mr. Starbuck!
You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!
Wait, they're going to the moon? That's it? I thought they were going to like a different planet. It's not very... Never mind.
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
All right.
Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache. Honestly, Honesty is deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. And that's it. Well, that concludes the playthrough. Now, I'm wondering, you're probably wondering where this game lists on the list. So let's go. So from worst to best. So we got Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, at number 7. Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, at number 6. Miles Edgeworth Investigations, at number 5. Justice for All, at number 4. Dual Destinies, at number 3. Trials and Tribulations at number 2, and Investigations 2 at number 1. So this game is definitely up there on my list. I really like it. I think the highs of this game are just as good or even a little bit better than what's it called? Justice for All. But I don't think it is as consistent as some of the other games in this series. So that is why I'm placing it 3rd. But, yeah. Also, there is one thing I want to say. Does the anime cutscenes, do they look weird to anybody else? Does everybody look like off-model to them? Or is that just me? I also hate the way their eyes are drawn. It looks so weird. I hate it. But that's really all I have to say. I've kind of given everything I want to say about this game. I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad you guys are. Oh, right. You probably want to know, Spirit of Justice? No. Because I don't think I'd be able to finish in Kingdom Hearts 3 before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. That's kind of my main reason. I honestly would play it if Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't coming out in like a couple weeks. So I'm probably just going to stream some random stuff for a bit, like Persona 5. I'm probably already streaming that by the time this is up. And yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed this series so far. I've loved playing every single game, and I can't wait to finish it off in probably February or March when I play Spirit of Justice, because that's going to be a great time. But I'm going to wrap up today's series here for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching this series. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Spread this with your friends if they like Ace Attorney, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.